Welcome to our channel where we explore the fascinating history of medicine. Today, we're going to talk about a mysterious disease that swept through England in the 15th and 16th centuries, killing thousands of people. It was known as the English sweating sickness. Let's dive in and find out what it was. What was the English sweating sickness? The English sweating sickness was a mysterious and highly infectious disease that emerged in England in the late 15th century. The first recorded outbreak occurred in 1485 during the reign of King Henry VII, and it continued to affect the population until the mid-16th century. The disease was characterized by a sudden onset of symptoms, including a cold sweat, fever, and severe headache. These symptoms would often progress rapidly, leaving patients incapacitated and unable to move. Contemporary accounts described the disease as a new and strange sickness that came suddenly and departed suddenly. The speed and severity of the disease's progression left many people baffled, and it sparked widespread fear and panic. The English sweating sickness was unlike any other disease that had been seen before, and its mysterious nature only added to the terror it inspired. Despite its name, the English sweating sickness was not a disease that caused excessive sweating. Instead, the sweating referred to the cold, clammy feeling that patients experienced as the disease took hold. This sensation was often accompanied by a range of other symptoms, including fever, chills, and severe pain. The disease was highly contagious, and it spread rapidly through crowded cities and towns, leaving a trail of death and destruction in its wake. Symptoms and progression. The symptoms of the English sweating sickness progressed rapidly, often within a matter of hours. The disease typically began with a cold sweat, which was followed by a fever and then a severe headache. Patients would often experience a range of other symptoms, including chills, muscle pain, and a general feeling of weakness. In some cases, patients would also experience delirium, convulsions, and even paralysis. As the disease progressed, patients would often become increasingly incapacitated, unable to move or respond to their surroundings. The fever would often become more intense, reaching temperatures of up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. In many cases, the disease would prove fatal, with patients dying within 24 hours of the onset of symptoms. The rapid progression of the disease made it difficult for physicians to treat, and many patients died before medical help could arrive. In some cases, patients would experience a brief period of remission, only to have the disease return with renewed intensity. This made it difficult for physicians to determine whether a patient was recovering or simply experiencing a temporary reprieve. Outbreaks and epidemics. The English sweating sickness occurred in several outbreaks between 1485 and 1551, with the most significant epidemics happening in 1485, 1508, 1517, and 1528. The disease spread rapidly throughout England, particularly in urban areas such as London, Oxford, and Cambridge. The outbreaks were often triggered by factors such as poor sanitation, overcrowding, and malnutrition, which allowed the disease to spread quickly through the population. The 1485 outbreak, which occurred during the reign of King Henry VII, was the most severe, with estimates suggesting that up to 10% of the population died. The disease spread rapidly throughout the country, reaching as far north as York and as far west as Bristol. The 1508 outbreak, which occurred during the reign of King Henry VIII, was also severe, with reports of widespread illness and death in London and other urban areas. The English sweating sickness also had a significant impact on the social and economic fabric of England. The disease led to widespread panic, with many people fleeing affected areas or shutting themselves indoors to avoid infection. Trade and commerce were severely disrupted, leading to economic hardship and social unrest. The disease also had a significant impact on the royal court, with several high-ranking officials and nobles falling victim to the disease. Causes and theories. Despite extensive research, the exact cause of the English sweating sickness remains a mystery. Over the centuries, Various theories have been proposed, but none have been proven conclusively. One theory is that the disease was caused by a viral infection, possibly related to the hantavirus or a similar virus. Another theory suggests that it may have been caused by a bacterial infection, such as anthrax or a similar bacterium. Some historians have also suggested that the disease may have been caused by environmental factors, such as poor sanitation, malnutrition, or exposure to toxins. Others have proposed that it may have been caused by a combination of factors, including genetic predisposition, environmental factors, and infectious agents. In recent years, some researchers have suggested that the English sweating sickness may have been caused by a rare condition called relapsing fever, which is caused by a bacterial infection. However, this theory is still speculative and requires further research to be confirmed. Despite the uncertainty surrounding its cause, the English sweating sickness remains an important part of medical history, and continued research may one day uncover the truth behind this mysterious disease. This disease was a devastating disease that killed thousands of people in England during the 15th and 16th centuries. While we still don't know the exact cause of the disease, it remains an important part of medical history. Thanks for joining me on this quest for the truth. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more content.